fate of my enemy. So, elementary school found me on Facebook. Everhart Elementary found me on Facebook, and literally a month later, I was on the Rock Island Metro headed to the south side for my 17-year elementary school reunion. Wow. I was sitting on the train by the window, looking at Chicago transition from the Loop to Gresham to Beverly, thinking just, wow, I never expected this to happen. I mean, until an old classmate found me on Facebook and told me about the reunion, I never thought I would see or hear from any of the kids of Everhart Elementary again. Not that I wouldn't want to see or hear from them. Don't get me wrong, I was going to the reunion after all. It's just that I guess perhaps subconsciously assumed that the children I played and shared a classroom with in my youth would not be swept up like everyone else in the world by modern technology. As if when we all graduated the 8th grade and I moved away from the south side of Chicago to the suburbs, they became permanently suspended in an alternative universe where the internet, especially Facebook, are not made available to the masses. Yeah, I just felt a little overwhelmed. I also felt a little angry. Because all those kids, all those really good kids I grew up with, I haven't really thought about them in 17 years. Except for one. That's what made me angry. Of all the people for me to remember, it's been Freddie Vasquez. Freddie Vasquez. 13-year-old hell on wheels with creamy olive skin and thick black hair. Freddie, ecstatic underachiever and proud initiate of the gang, 2-6 Nation. Freddie, the one person I can say with certainty that I hate. I have hated him since I first shared a classroom with him in the 6th grade, his relentless bullying never ceasing until the day we graduated from the 8th grade. Freddie had a way with words. He had a real knack for emotional abuse, you know, and the wits to do it all under the radar. He was good. He was so good, he never left any marks but here. Whenever our teacher left the large, window-lined classroom for a moment, Freddie would spring on the opportunity. He'd slip quickly out from behind his desk and approach me. 20 13-year-old heads turned to watch, my head turned down, my eyes focusing on the notebook on my desk, my pen, the desk's graffiti-covered wood, anything to try to muffle his words, his actions towards me. "Hey, Beaver!" Freddie said. My stomach clenched in a trained reflex. I didn't say anything. I said, "Hey, what's up, Doc?" Freddie stood directly in front of my desk and leaned over. I said, "Hey, what's up, Bugs Bunny?" Because of my large overbite and crooked front teeth, Freddie felt it appropriate to associate me with a cartoon character in the log-chewing creek-dwelling mammal. "Look at me, I'm a beaver," Freddie said. His face was just inches from mine now. He leaned in further and commenced with his favorite impression of me. "Look at me, I'm a beaver, good. Can you see me, beaver? Are you blind? Good, This was the point in his daily interaction with me in which he would highlight the fact that I had very bad vision and therefore was required to wear these really big, thick glasses. Then, of course, before he could get caught, Freddie returned to his desk as gracefully as he had risen in anticipation of our teacher's return. And some version of this, in varying degrees of horrifying public humiliation for a shy, bookish adolescent girl, would happen every single school day through the 6th, 7th, and 8th grades. You know those kids you hear about in the news? The ones who hang themselves in closets and stairwells because they simply could not take any more abuse from the school bully? The ones with no self-esteem left and no end in sight to the pain day after day, feel they have no choice but to off themselves? That was me, with one very obvious and very important difference. Even though I held a steak knife to my wrist in my mother's pantry more than a few times, I never drew the blade across my skin. I knew I could be better, do better. Also, my parents, for what it's worth, did their best to make me feel better with karmic assurances and that simply, this too shall pass. So, you know, Freddie was a total jerk face. Verbally abusive, heartless, soulless bully. And I hated him so much still 17 years later that my hate begged an answer. What became of him? The day elementary school found me on Facebook, I tried to find Freddie. I wondered, was he married? Did he have kids? Did he ever finish high school? Was he in jail? I mean, he was in a major street gang by 13. Yeah, I thought he's probably in jail. My finger clicking furiously over the vast social networking landscape of Facebook, my blood boiled with power as I one-upped him in my head. I went to college, Freddie. Yeah. I graduated with a 3.9 GPA. Yeah, and I just finished my master's degree. And I'm engaged to be married. I even have a dog. And yeah, and you know what? I was in a movie. Yeah, Ocean's 12. That movie was more than 5 years ago, and I'm still getting paid, bitch! I am successful! I'm really happy! When I got off the metro and walked to the reunion, I told myself, be brave. I'm smart, I'm a good person, I'm alive, and goddammit, I'm Southside. As far as I was concerned, Freddie could go take a long walk off a short pier. I think I would have told him that to his face. But when I walked into Cork and Carey's and waded through the crowd of Southside Irish to our reunion in the back of the dark bar, he wasn't there. Damn it! I wanted to know where he was. I wanted to know what happened to him. I wanted closure. As evening wore on and I spoke with my old classmates and consumed more than a few beers, I let my curiosity get the best of me. Hey, Neil! I called out across the bar several hours into our reunion. Remember I sat next to you in Mr. Mulaney's class? I moved next to you after I asked if I could be moved away from Freddie. Neil, a tattooed, blanketed, blue-collar, die-hard Sox fan who had been banging whiskey shots most of the night, said, "Oh, Freddie." And I said, "What happened to him anyway?" And I thought, $5 he's in jail. And Neil put his fist to the side of his neck and pulled, his fist going up above his head like rope, his neck turning as if it was breaking. I said, "What?" And then he looked at me in the eyes, and he pulled again. Through his slightly whiskey-soaked tongue, Neil told me that about 10 or 12 years ago, Freddie had a girlfriend whom he was cheating on. Somehow she found out, and she was so distraught, she hung herself. In the aftermath of her death, Freddie went on a drinking binge, perhaps even a drug binge, and then hung himself too, in a garage, and that's how he died. On the way home, on the dark and sparsely populated metro train, I phoned my mother and told her the news. She said, "Oh my God, Dina, that's a horrible way to die. He was a horrible person, no, Dina. That's karma. What goes around comes around." Of course, we didn't want him to die, but we knew he would get his. We just didn't know in what form it would be. As my mother spoke these words, I looked out at the Chicago landscape now draped in night. I couldn't see the city transition back from Beverly to Gresham to the Loop. My parents don't know that I thought of killing myself at 13. I could never bring myself to tell them. "You feel bad now, don't you?" my mother said sympathetically. It was a statement of fact. And all I could say was, "This changes things."